Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I'm here to talk about Westin Wilson versus Joanderson Brito. Westin Wilson has taken this fight on short notice, very short notice, making his UFC debut as well. He's 34 years old, 16-7 as a pro, and he's got 5 inches of height and 1 inch of reach on Joanderson Brito. Joanderson Brito, he's 14-3-1, 28 years old, and he's a monster. We've already seen him be a monster in the UFC. He's going to be hanging around for some time. Westin Wilson, I'm not sure about that, to be honest. He's a guy who I think on a full training camp would still be very much in a very tough fight here against Joanderson Brito, but with no training camp and who knows what kind of shape he's in anyway, but this is going to be a pretty difficult matchup. Westin Wilson, he's got 16 wins, 16 of them via finish. 5 TKOs or knockouts and 11 submissions. And of those 16 wins, 14 of them come in round 1 and 2 of them come in round 2, but they're a minute into round 2. So on paper, he's very much a first round or bust fighter. His 7 losses come 1 by knockout, 4 by submission, 2 by decision. Submission's typically the way it gets done when he loses, but his last loss comes to by knockout to Teruto Ishihara, former UFC fighter. And he knocked him dead. And I've got to be honest, I just think he's up against it athletically, and I think he's up against it technically in every which way against Joanderson Brito. And Joanderson Brito should win this fight at the first opportunity. That's my prediction. I think Joanderson Brito will run through him pretty much and get a first round finish. Historically, I guess it should happen by submission, but I find myself leaning towards knockout. I think Joanderson Brito is going to run through him in the way he ran through Andre Fili. Brito, he's 14-3-1. He's got 12 finishes and his 14 wins, 6 by knockout, 6 by submission. And his 3 losses come 1-1-1. He lost by knockout to Henrique Gomez, in which he was overwhelmed and hurt with a big knee in the middle of it, but that was very early in his career. He suffered 2 losses early in his career to guys who turned out to be very good fighters, Henrique Gomez and Rafael Moreira, I think. I don't know. Either way, guy rear naked choked him in his debut. Now he's got a record of 15-3. So, no shame there. But his recent loss, the only loss in the last, better part of a decade, is to Bill Algeo. And Bill Algeo outlasted Joanderson Brito. Algeo's a gritty, tough son of a bitch. Not the most dominant wrestler, but he's pretty versatile and really relentless more than anything. And he was able to take some of the life from Joanderson Brito and dominate, as the fight went on. He won rounds 2 and 3 pretty much. Joanderson Brito, though, the way he's looked, against Andre Fili, knocked him out dead. The Jose Mariscal Chepe, who had that incredible fight last week, as I broke down, his one legitimate knockout loss comes to Joanderson Brito, and it was a violent, violent knockout. Just knocked him dead. So, Joanderson Brito's already beaten better guys than Westin Wilson and made it look very, very easy. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. I think Westin Wilson is not going to have too much success at all. Probably going to be looking to take the fight to the ground, but that's not going to be an option. And his 5 inches of height and 1 inch of reach, I don't think he's the kind of guy that's going to make the most of it. He's a formidable striker. He's got, decent enough striking, but I don't think it's going to hold up very well at all against Joanderson Brito. Brito's not some expert striker, but he's a freak athlete with insane power, and yeah, it's where he wants to be, and he can bang, and he's going to. First round knockout is the prediction. I'll wait till the prop bets open up. I actually think there's a little bit of value on under 1.5 rounds at minus 250, but I don't like betting on under 1.5 rounds unless it's plus money, really. But Joanderson Brito via round 1 finish, if it's close enough for flat finish, I'll play that over the knockout, because I do think Westin Wilson's been defeated 7 times. Again, only 1 of them is by knockout, 4 of them are by submission. So even though I think knockout is more likely, submission is certainly possible. But I will only play that pretty much. Joanderson Brito via some sort of round 1 finish. That's how I envision this one going. And then I'll get drunk, of course, and bet on Westin Wilson at insanely long odds. Like, share, subscribe, all that horseshit. Check out my other videos.